It's difficult to demonstrate good and evil, to convince people that there is a right and a wrong. However, one thing that can always serve as a reference for what undeniable evil looks like is the Nazi Third Reich. Once the horrors of that political experiment are brought up, it's difficult to deny the reality of evil. And once the reality of evil is recognized, it becomes much easier to prove the reality of good. Once the nature of evil is understood, the nature of the good is clarified. This idea is at the heart of what nowadays gets referred to as the post-war consensus, the idea that Nazism is the most evil thing that has ever existed. This gives rise to Godwin's law, which states that the longer a discussion persists, the more likely it is that Hitler, the Nazis, or the Holocaust will be brought up. This happens because the longer and more tedious and heated a conversation gets, the more likely it is for one or both parties to become desperate for solid ground, and the self-evident evil of the Nazis in the world of the post-war consensus is about as solid as it gets. Or at least it was. For the past few years, and especially after the October 7th attacks on Israel about 2 years ago, this solid ground, this anchor of evil, has been dissolving. The danger of this is much greater than simply removing the stigma against anti-Semitism. That anchor holds back totalitarian economic models, social control infrastructures, death worship, obscurantist esotericism, warmongering, censorship, etc., etc. To remember that the Nazis were the greatest evil is to remember that all of those things are evil, and people are ceasing to care and starting to forget about that. The anchor of evil is dissolving away from our collective memory, which means we're risking drifting back into the hell that the Nazis created. Across the world, we would do well not only to remember the anchor of the post-World War II consensus, the evil of the Nazis, but also to embrace the anchor of the post-Cold War consensus, the evil of the Soviets. In adopting two anchors of evil, we can find the common features of these regimes, such as centrally planned command economies and censorship, among others, and shun those features from our societies. Once the nature of evil is understood, the nature of the good is clarified. Totalitarianism is evil. Liberty is good, and we do well to remember that for as long as possible, lest we end up back in a worldly form of hell. That's it. Now get out of here.